Well, hey, it's Jamie. That's me here. Welcome back to my channel, honey, and welcome back to yet another quick chat. Now, today on the quick chat, we will be talking about Ceasar of Black Ink Crew. Y'all know he done got in some trouble. Now he finally decided that he wants to speak out and give his thoughts, child. Girl, bye. We also have Tati from the show that also shares her thoughts about the situation, as well as his ex-girlfriend, Miss Dutchess. Okay, so Dutchess will also be sharing her thoughts as well. But before we get into that, let's talk about something else real quickly. I want to talk about Bill Bellamy and the situation that he has going with his family, because it seems like they may be in a rift at this time. They're not seeing eye to eye after his father has recently passed. Okay, and all of this is regarding the funeral services. So they're saying that Bill Bellamy is grieving over the loss of both his father and his father-in-law, who died within weeks of each other. So that's enough already to be stressing over. Then got to turn around and be stressing about whether he'll be able to attend the funeral of his dad. Okay, so let's get into it. They're saying TMZ is reporting that now the comedian and actor is having to choose which funeral to attend: his father-in-law, who died on May 17th, or his father's, who passed away on June 8th. Now, they're saying that his sister, Karen, planned their father's funeral when Bill wasn't in the country and chose the date of June 24th, the same weekend as Bill's father-in-law's funeral. Okay. Now, both funerals are taking place in different states. Bill tried to get a restraining order as a way to make Karen change the date, but it wasn't granted. So things are still unclear. They still not seeing eye to eye. And girl, it looks like the funeral bout was held yesterday. Okay. Now, Bill did go on to say, in the span of less than a month, I lost both my father, William Bellamy Sr., and my father-in-law, Bernard Baker Jr. Okay, he says these two wonderful men that have impacted my life and my family lives in ways that are beyond words. Okay, he says my effort to stop an unauthorized memorial service for my father, which was planned without my knowledge, was not successful. I am devastated. My family has to choose to what he says. I am devastated. My family has to choose to miss one service for another. No one should ever have to be in this position. My father-in-law's memorial service was confirmed back in May when he passed. Okay, so it looks like Mr. is in a very tight spot. Okay, he's in a very tight spot, or was in a tight spot. If you ask me, though, just me, I'm going to go to my biological parents' service. You know what I'm saying? That's just, it sucks. A very compromising situation. I know he probably wants to be there to support his wife and stuff like that. I kind of feel like he probably should have went to his dad's and just maybe have missed the father-in-laws. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure the father also meant a lot to his biological father, also meant a lot to his wife. And the wife also wanted to be there. So at the end of the day, Miss Karen was Karening. And she was wrong as hell, in my opinion. Now, I don't know what other stipulations, but it's like, girl, you could have at least moved it, girl, to the Saturday, girl. Why you had to have it on the same exact day? That is being wholeheartedly messy. Girl, you at least, they could have just held on to that man at least to the next day. Unless they was booked up and they just couldn't, do the funeral on that day. Or maybe push it out another week. I don't know. And I don't know what his father-in-law family had going on. This man passed away all the way back in May, and they're about to, do his service almost like a month later. But a very unfortunate situation. I hate that for him, but I do feel like, listen, I was showing over there with my Zed. I would have went that way. He did go on to say there are no words to express how disappointed I am to not be a part of laying my father to rest. But I look forward to celebrating my father's life and legacy with my wife, his grandchildren, and our close friends in our own time. Please pray for our families and give us the time to grieve and process these painful losses in private. Wow. Y'all got to let me know y'all thoughts about this situation. And if you were in this situation or have been in this situation, how did you handle it? Whose did you choose to go to over the other? That's messed up. I think all fault should still be on the sister, because I feel like if you could get them to work with you and probably put it on a Monday, put it on a Saturday. Some people have had, services on a Sunday. Like, girl, you could have moved it around. You really could have moved it around for your brother. And I feel like that's being inconsiderate. But again, we don't have all of the details or all of the facts. So, yeah, if it came down to the wire, Mr. Bellamy, you probably should have just went over to, your dad's. Because that's your dad. Right? I want to believe that if his wife was in the same situation, she would go over to her dad's. And she is. But anyway. Good luck. Let's go ahead and scoot over. Okay? Because we have to talk about Mr. Ceasar. We have to get into him. Get into him how everybody else is getting into his ass right now. Y'all know Ceasar, and for those of you guys that do not know Ceasar, Ceasar is a cast member, and I want to say maybe he does own a tattoo shop called Black Ink. Right? I don't know if he owns the show, co-owns the show, what his stake is in the show, but he had involvement in Black Ink Crew New York, Chicago, as well as Compton. Right? So Ceasar has been problematic, in my opinion, for a very long time now. Very, very long time now, in my opinion. Okay. His daughter has made claims against him. Duchess has made claims against him. She's even done a Breakfast Club interview about him. This is his ex-girlfriend, Miss Dutchess. Like, this man has been problematic. Miss Kit has had some things to say. Like, girl, and it's enough because we see how he is on television, right? Well, recently, he was aired out by way of video footage of him, harming his animals. Okay, in a I'm gonna say a violent way, because it didn't have to go like that. You know what I'm saying? I was like, So after having proof of what it is that Mr. Ceasar was out here doing to his animals, VH1 decided to sever ties with him. Just him, not the shows. They're going to continue to keep the shows running. And I made the question to VH1 on the other day, because I'm wondering how you cancel his stuff. And with this little bit of proof, I ain't gonna say his stuff, but how do you cancel him with this little bit of proof? But when it comes to T.I.'s family and Family Hustle, even with those allegations, we didn't know what was to be fact. Things still needed to come out. Not accusing anyone of lying or anything, but y'all shut the show down immediately. Questions that still need answers. T.I. has already called y'all out. We'll see where that's going to go, because I'm mad because I didn't get to see what was going to happen with Miss Toya. But anyway, girl, let's keep going. So now that everybody is on Ceasar's ass since this incident happened, his ex-girlfriend, the mother of his child, has spoken out. Kit has spoken out. Donna has spoken out. Now he is coming forward and he is speaking out, and he has some things that he wants to share with the people. Girl, I'm going to play this and I'm going to let y'all see it. And y'all got to let me know down in the comments if y'all believe in what it is that he's saying for real, for real. So let's get into it.
I know the footage. Yeah, everybody's seeing it looks crazy. Even me looking at it look crazy, but it's a moment in time which I wish I could take back. I came home, my dogs was attacking each other. I don't mean like the regular just play fighting. I mean like they was going for each other's necks, basically trying to kill each other.
Right.
I separate the dogs. Now, one of the dogs attacked me. What I did was open the garage door trying to de-escalate it, but I was nervous. I'm not going to tell you no lie.
You didn't want the dog to hurt you.
Exactly. I was nervous and I was scared. So at the end of the day, I was trying to back the dog down. I was honestly trying to scare him. And not one time was I trying to abuse this dog. All I was trying to do was get him back in his cage. And the way the video was set up is like, I'm not going to make no excuses for myself. I should have behaved better. But that's not me with being cruel to animals or anything like that. I'm not that, yo. What I did was a mistake, and that was just it.
Right, so that was your dog.
That was my dog.
Right.
And at the end of the day, what people have to understand, that was a moment. My dogs are perfectly well. Honestly, I gave one to my friend Chris, and the other one is completely fine. Both of them are completely healthy and fine.
Do you still have the dog that was in the situation? Did you give that dog away?
I gave one of the dogs away because, like I tell you, they couldn't be together. They was trying to kill each other. So I gave one of them away and I kept the other one and got it in disciplinary school, with dog school, I should say, where both of us going, and I was properly trained how to manage a dog. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how the footage got leaked. I know that was off my Ring camera.
Off your own camera at your house.
At my house.
Okay.
And it feels like I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I feel like I'm being set up in some way because that the way I'm being portrayed is just like that's not my character.
How did you find out? Where were you when you found out that you were fired from the show?
I mean, it's funny. I was in the shop. And I seen it on Instagram. And everybody kept hitting me. I started getting wild death threats.
Death threats?
Yeah.
From random people online, like just leaving messages for you?
It's crazy, man. I had to really turn off my comments because it got too crazy. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm really a private person. Even though people see me on TV, I'm a celebrity. It was like it got crazy for me. Like my mom's, everything.
So you feel scared for your safety?
I am scared for my safety. Like this is not something that I take lightly. Like this is something very serious to me.
Baby, bye. Hello, baby, bye. I don't believe she's over there talking about it's him trying to use a lower tone, a softer tone, to really come off as though he's afraid, as though he's threatened, as though he's pleading. Believe me, this isn't me. I wouldn't act like that. I wouldn't do that. Believe me. Please. We never really see the things that he do to the people that have accused him of stuff, but everybody's story be around in the same realm. I'm not here for Ceasar. You're going to need more people. The gag for me was him saying, oh, well, the dogs, they be fighting each other. And they can't really be around each other. You know what I'm saying? Like they was trying to kill each other, And I'm like, okay, so you trying to kill them too? Like, I'm confused. Nah, the dog just been through enough. One of them, I'm sure, almost was about to be out of here if they was trying to kill each other. Then you turn around and get them with a jail. Like, what are you saying? Like, he's not making any sense. When the person asked him the question, like, oh, how did you feel about being, laid off or whatever like that, or being fired or whatever, when you got that news, he chuckled, but he had to catch himself. I feel like he chuckled because it's like, girl, ain't nobody caring about that. Girl, I'm still gonna get my money. I'm still gonna get paid. You don't understand the rights or the percentage that I hold in Black Ink Group. They just removing me for the show for y'all. For y'all. Okay, they did that for y'all, but behind the scenes, I'm still going to get a check cut. Understand, from all franchises. Yeah. And he laughed at I mean, I was in the shop. When I found out I've been getting death threats. I'm scared. I am scared for my life. Boy, good night and goodbye. I do not believe Ceasar one bit. It's just sad. People love doing stuff and then saying this ain't me. Whew, Chile. I want to hear y'all thoughts about this particular interview that Mr. Ceasar just did. Let me know what you're thinking, how you feeling, because I'm not believing him at all. And it just makes me think whatever the ladies had to say about him is 100% true. And, from his daughter to Dutchess and others. But let's go ahead and get into what Tati had to say about this particular situation. Then we'll get into Miss Dutchess. So check out Miss Tati, girl, the most unlikable person on Black Ink Crew. Girl, I wanted them to fire her so bad. And I think they were thinking about it, but they never did. But instead, they kept her around. And I didn't quite understand why they kept her around. Was it because Ted was smashing her? Or was it because she's Latina or whatever she got going on? Like, what? Anyway, let me play this.
No matter what, it's disgusting. No matter how you look at it, I'm not justifying nobody's fucking actions or none of that, okay? No matter how you fucking look at it, it's a disgusting act. It's wild. Look at my babies right now. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine my boys fighting and me beating the shit out of them to prove a point? I don't even know if that makes sense. So okay, let me not get distracted. So Shorty's mad, Shorty's heart is broken, and she leaks these videos, right? Now what gets me is that these videos are old, right? These videos happened a minute ago. So you knew that he did this and you stayed with him. So for me, that's the crazy part, is that you knew this happened. You knew, and you decided to stay with him, and now that your heart is broken, you leak the video? Like, that's crazy. So, like, that's crazy. So, for me, personally, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I don't give a fuck. I respectfully, you know what I'm saying? That shit, I don't got nothing to do with that. But as like a person, like as a human being, you roll with him for all that shit, right? Talking about the allegations about, you know, beating Cheyenne or whatever. Which, not for nothing, I'm Dominican, so I can understand handing out an ass whooping. You, like, sometimes kids need to get an ass whooping, right? And what's crazy to me is how quick Ceasar got dropped for beating a dog, but there was mad, you know, press conferences and all, you know, it's fucked up. It's a fucked up situation. Domestic violence is a real thing. And in New York, it is not taken seriously. It is not taken seriously. Like, it's unfortunate that this whole fucking country is just set up to destroy us. As you know, if you ain't white and rich, you're gonna have a hard fucking life. If you ain't born into money, you're gonna have a hard life. You know, and Ceasar, you know, worked his ass off to get to where he's at. And to lose it all over that, over a mad bitch, you know? So what's happening with Black Ink? Honestly, I don't know. You know, I've been on Black Ink for 5 years, and I can say that in 5 years, I have seen a lot of shit happen on that show. We have been through a lot. I got my ass beat. We all fought everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't work at the shop anymore. You are not gonna see me at the shop anymore. Honestly, I thought I got fired, so I'm not even sure what's really happening. So that's what I think. I think Suzette sold it or leaked it or whatever the fuck, because that's what I think. And listen, karma is a bitch. Karma is a bitch. Hate is one hell of a drug. And no. Hold on. Y'all are confusing. I am not at all saying that it was okay for Ceasar to do that. I am telling you that I am appalled. I am disgusted. I am angry. I couldn't even watch the video. Like, you not allowed to come near my dogs. Don't. Nah. I'm happy. I'm happy that I didn't bring Aladdin and Jafar on the show like that. So I'm saying it's all bad. What I'm saying is that what type of bitch holds on to that? That's what I was saying. What type of girl holds on to that and stays with you knowing that you this type of person and then leaks it. Like, those videos are old. That's old. That's what I'm saying. Those videos are old. You held on to those videos long enough to hurt him. To hurt him. We already know that Ceasar is an asshole. Everybody knows that. Ceasar is an asshole. That is his personality. He's a Gemini. He is an asshole. But listen, it's unfortunate when somebody makes poor choices and it automatically contradicts everything that you have ever done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He's sick and she's sick. All of it. All of it. You're right.
Tati says that she may have been fired or thought she was fired. I was hoping that you were, but either way, I will say this, girl. You right. I can't say that I disagree with anything Tati said. Like, she pretty much said everything I've said in my video the other day. Like, he was wrong. Like, you got dogs over there fighting each other, and it's just like, it just doesn't make sense that an owner of dogs, and if you love dogs, would break up dogs from fighting by hitting them with a chair like that. That's just not adding up to me. But at the end of the day, I feel like Tati has a right to kind of question the Suzette thing and leave her opinions about that, because I was wondering the same thing. Because I saw what he put on his page about not being with her anymore. And then shortly after that, what do we see? Okay, somebody didn't leak the footage. Who else had access to his home like that outside of Teddy? I'm sure Teddy do. But I want to believe that it probably was her. She probably still got access to them rings. I believe that, though. Because I had to do this one girl, you know what I'm saying? And her and Zoo had broke up or whatever like that. And girl, this is not me, girl. This is somebody else. And you know what I'm saying? Miss Girl actually still had access to the rings and stuff. Had access to the cameras. So she knew what women was coming in and out his house late at night, girl, when they had broke up. So that also would mean that she probably wouldn't know when they was together too. But either way, the point is, okay? The point is, the girl still had access post breakup. So Tati is saying that this footage is old. Like, yeah, true, it could be old, and she could have stayed with him throughout that entire time, right? And she was okay with it then, but then now that you're not with him, you want to put it out. I mean, that is a bit shady, but we don't know if that's truly old. If the footage is old, this could be something more recent. Whereas she's been out of the house but still has access to the rings, and he strikes me as probably a dumb person. Dumb enough to not even change the password or anything like that. So she's still been paying attention and watching and seeing what he's doing. And once she had that, she downloaded it and made sure that she sent it out. That could have been old as earlier this year, and they probably could have broke up at the end of last year. Who knows? I don't know. I think the motive is very suspicious. But at the end of the day, he did that, period. And the proof is in the pudding. And he was completely wrong. Now we're about to go ahead and get into what Miss Dutchess had to say, because Dutchess, you know, she just got some things to say regarding VH1 and sees himself and her own experience with him, and how she feels how everybody else is just like, wow. So it took, you know, this situation with dogs for y'all to do something, but it seems like it really took a situation with proof. But I feel like y'all probably had enough proof on camera with all the filming and stuff that y'all had going on, but y'all was going to do what y'all want to do anyway, because it's just how y'all is. You know what I'm saying? But let's go ahead and get into what Miss Dutchess had to say.
It's a couple things that I've seen on here that I definitely want to address. One thing I definitely wanted to address, because everybody's been tagging me. So the thing that I will say is this. I am very offended with the way that our culture, especially like the urban culture, the urban community, how we choose to cancel people just based off of pure foolishness and ignorance. And the things that we uphold people in be ridiculous. And I really don't understand, like, the thoughts that people be having. Like, do we forget in the back of our mind that, you know, they've had a pattern of behaviors? Or do we just allow people to just be whatever the fuck they want to be with no consequences? So, when I was on Black Ink, everybody said that I was a liar. I was a manipulator. Everybody said that I was a gold digger. That was one of the funniest things that was said about me. Her fucking hilarious. Motherfucker said that they gave me my shop. Like, it was just so much stuff. And because of platform, because people were still on a TV show, y'all believed everything that was said. And for me, I'm just like, when do we start being more responsible with our support? When do we start doing that shit? Because when I talked about the shit he was doing in the shop, I was being a manipulator. When I said certain shit was going down, I was lying. When I talked about him putting his hands on me, y'all said I was a liar. Now, what's funny to me is how many domestic violence survivors like myself, nobody believed you when you told somebody that you was going through what you was going through, which forced you to probably stay in it longer than you really had to because your ass didn't know no other way out. But none of y'all believed it. Y'all said I was crazy. And I stayed silent. I've been very silent for a long time. Once I did the Breakfast Club interview, VH1, the same network that fired Cease, VH1 sent me a cease and desist after I did the Breakfast Club interview. The same people that has now fired him over a fucking dog. Now, for some of y'all gonna say, oh, this is about him. This is definitely not about him. This is about why the fuck black women feel like we are so fucking unprotected, disrespected. This is what this is really about. Especially a fucking entire network that knew what the fuck I was going through, but did not want that to be part of my storyline, which forced me to leave. Allowed him to drag me through the mud, berate me, belittle me, publicly humiliate me. Drag out the fact that I was a rape survivor as a fucking child. He put that story out on the fucking Shade Room. And they posted that shit. That was the first time majority of my family even knew about that stuff. I went through attempts. I went through depression. I went through some very fucking dark shit behind this. And a lot of it is because a lot of people would send me hate messages, call my tattoo shop, the beautiful shop that I'm in right now, call this place of business with threats all over a fucking TV show with a nigga that was fucking abusing me behind closed doors. And then over a fucking dog, that's when they pulled the plug. And for everybody that's negative, that want to say, no one cares, I see shit, girl, he's not worried about you, why cry now? See, that's the problem with people now, because that's what y'all think this is. This really ain't that. Y'all minds are so fucking small and caught up on fucking reality TV and fucking social media that y'all really don't be seeing how shit really affect your whole motherfucking life. My first thing to say is, damn VH1. A dog is more important than the amount of disrespect that y'all have allowed people to even portray. Do you understand? That is the shit that y'all are allowing to be on the front line of fucking entertainment. That's what this shit is really about. It's about holding the motherfuckers who really sit in these chairs accountable. That's what it's really about. But y'all so caught up on the dumb shit that y'all ain't even gonna catch that. And y'all see this shit going down. We got motherfuckers that could have voted for different things to even be caught up in the mix right now. Like, we be worried about the dumb shit that we don't even pay attention to the important shit. And the shit be so corny to me. This past year, I think, and I don't know, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't keep up with it. Like, let's just keep it 100. But I did see how the situation, even with his daughter, a child, a young black woman, ain't even enough to make y'all hold somebody accountable. That's why I'm talking now. Because when proof reveals itself, then that's when you talk. That's when you talk. See, a lot of y'all be talking about a lot of shit and y'all don't even be knowing what y'all talking about. See, that's why I didn't say shit about nothing. But now, oh yes, I'm going to be definitely talking. No, what happened is after I did the Breakfast Club, the ratings went down a couple 100,000. So they sent me a cease and desist. But the interview was already done. I'm going to tell y'all something else that I feel like is very important too. Public disrespect. Okay? Public disrespect, public humiliation, all of those things require public apologies. Like, you can't keep dragging people and can't keep like making people feel like they're absolutely nothing or trying to diminish their brand or diminish. You can't keep doing that to people and expect them to just be okay with it. And when you right all of your wrongs, that's when God start opening up the windows of heaven and he just start pouring out blessings. And for me, that's what my life has been. I am not perfect, but what I have done is righted my wrongs. And I made sure that in me righting my wrongs, I didn't want to be the same person. Love yourself first. That's where I fucked up. Publicly. And humiliated myself in front of the whole world. And allowed a man to humiliate me in addition to that. That's what I did. So now, the version that I've allowed myself to really embrace would never allow that type of shit. Ever. Ever. The whole purpose of this live was to allow y'all to understand that a lot of the things that y'all see, don't believe a lot of it. Allow yourself to read between lines. When you see certain characteristics and certain things, pay attention to it, because y'all be seeing shit, but you choose to ignore it. We choose to ignore it.
All right, y'all just heard what Miss Dutchess had to say. I find it interesting that they hurried up and sent her a cease and desist when them ratings went down, because y'all already know how it be. When you impact their views, you impact their revenue, I feel, when it comes to the ads and stuff like that, honey. So they hurried up and shut her down, because when Miss Dutchess hit the Breakfast Club interview, she came with receipts and stuff, and they really couldn't handle that. So obviously what she had to say was enough impact for them to send her a cease and desist, but not enough impact for them to investigate the matter between the both of them and probably hand down some quote unquote sanctions, okay, to Mr. Ceasar at that time. You know what I'm saying? Was her words and stuff not enough? Was the minimal receipts that she had not enough? I can't, everybody, girl. Listen, Ceasar is a fool. You got to be careful what you do out here in these streets, because it definitely will catch up to you in ways that you would least expect. Do you hear what I say? Meanwhile, I haven't seen where Suzette has said anything. Nothing. Now, Miss Girl may have dropped that tape and let everybody see what's going on, but other than that, I haven't seen her open her mouth or do anything. But, you know how I go. That's just, let me look. I'm going over here to her IG now, trying to see what's going on. Okay? She over there living her best life, supposedly. Let me just see. She out here hanging out on her page. Okay? Focusing on her being a realtor and stuff, educating the people. She ain't saying nothing about C's or nothing that went on. And I'm a bit surprised, but not surprised for real, because I do feel like Suzette is really out here trying to do something different. Okay. It's not like she's really trying to be a reality person. It seems like she's really trying to be, a career woman, get into her real estate and stuff. And she probably I ain't even finna let that affect me. You know what I'm saying? Or what I'm trying to do. But you sure took a pause to get involved with him. And I just didn't understand. Like, girl, why? But anyway, girl, we ain't got the same type of eyes and the same type of interest. So that's just that on that. But that's all I got for real. C's, again, baby, I don't believe you. You need more people. Your soft voice and whatever you were trying to give to us was not working on me. On P. Okay? So that's all I got. I want to hear y'all thoughts about everything that we talked about today on the quick chat. Let me know your thoughts about Bill Bellamy. I need to know what side of the fence y'all standing on, whose services you're going to over the other, or how would you have handled your sister if you were in that particular situation. Also, I want to know your thoughts about C's, this little side interview that he done did, and his mannerisms as he did it. Also, your thoughts about Tati, whether you agree, don't agree, as well as your thoughts about Miss Duchess. That is all that I got, honey. I am Jamie. That's me, honey. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Jamie. That's me. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.